Hi, I'm Summer, and today we are going to be doing Christmas outfits or Christmas outfit ideas. And I have went over this 3 times, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this is my third video. I think I forgot to mention on the last two that it's called Who Am I Today? And the reason why I picked that title is because sometimes I'm 80s, sometimes I'm 90s, sometimes it's 70s, sometimes it's Christmas, sometimes it's fall. Never know. So basically I'm just inviting you to play dress up with me. Let's have some fun with clothes. Let's see what we come up with. I lay the outfits out. I have not tried them on, so I put them together and try them on. So sometimes I like them, most of the time I do like them, but sometimes they don't fit right or whatever, so we'll just see as we go. But I just wanted to give you some creative ideas on how to style Christmas outfits, maybe a little bit out of the box of what you wouldn't have thought of. Maybe some modern, some vintage. I have a little bit of a mixture of both, so if you like one or the other, there's some both in there. I pretty much am mostly a maximalist, so there is usually layering and vintage and all of that involved. I'm never just minimalist modern. So hopefully you like that. And we're just going to get started with it. I'm just going to start with this first one. This one, I chose the little Scotty dog sweater. It always reminds me of Christmas. I don't know why that is. I feel like maybe it's just a cozy look. Something about the Scotty dogs. Maybe I've seen them with plaids before, and sometimes plaid is very Christmassy. I think of fireplaces and, sitting around with family by the fireplace or sitting around with candles and just a cozy vibe. So that's what I think of when I see these Scotty dog sweaters. So that's why I've picked it for Christmas. And took a vintage red top and stuck under it with the brown. So instead, just breaking it up, instead of wearing jeans like you would normally wear jeans, I put the brown pants with it and the red top, and it just gives it a little bit more something, gives it more color. And I took a Christmas necklace, and probably I have 3 Christmas necklace. I'll probably just rotate the 3, so you don't actually have to have all new jewelry for every single outfit. You can just pick the same one that you have, and it just adds Christmas to the outfit. So this is outfit number 1, and we have quite a few to go. I think I may split it up into a part 1 and a part 2 because my husband has been helping me download, and he says they're way too long. They have been an hour long. If you're anything like me, because I am a maximalist, and that involves with videos too. So I honestly like to find the long video, and I like to stick it on TV and watch it forever while I'm matching up outfits or while I'm cleaning out my closet. I would prefer a long clothing video. I mean, that's what I want to look at is clothes. I would just look at them all day long. So anyway, but I think going to split up into 2 parts. That way you can watch them or watch them together, watch them separately, however, and it is easier to download. So let's get to the next one. Okay, on this one, so I have 2 t-shirts. I have another one I'm fixing to show you that are Christmassy, and I don't know about you, but at Christmas time, t-shirts are too cold. Like normally I will not wear them. So I immediately thought, what can I put with this t-shirt? And I ended up with a fur because it's just too cold in the wintertime to wear t-shirts here. Maybe they're for other places, but I'm in Tennessee. In Tennessee, if it's 30 degrees outside, a t-shirt, I'm going to freeze. So that's why the fur, but that made sense to me because too, it's polar bears. So this is a vintage Coca-Cola t-shirt, which I have had for a little while, and it is so cute and it is cool because it is a vintage piece. And I thought, okay, polar bears and the fur, I don't know, that kind of made sense to me. So that is why I have paired these up together, and I actually think it's really cute. And it's a great casual look. Like if you're just, well, it's a way to wear the fur as a casual look, but like if you're just like, I don't know, running to the grocery store or something, I just think this would be cute. And I just stuck my Timberland boots because I'm thinking like Alaska or something with the polar bears and like Timberland boots. That made sense. So that is the inspiration on this outfit. And maybe how to wear your t-shirt that's too too freezing cold to wear in the wintertime. That makes sense to me. So I actually really think this is really cute. This is the first time I've done anything with this shirt. I actually had it in a sale pile and then I pulled it back out because I thought, oh, maybe I'll try that again, because I don't think I've seen a blue Coca-Cola t-shirt before. So anyways, it works. Okay, I just got finished saying that I wouldn't do any like minimalist stuff, but I feel like this is kind of minimal, honestly. But this sweater is from Old Navy, and usually most everything I get is thrifted. Every now and then, like maybe once a year, around Christmas time or around income tax time, I might go like visit the newer places and pick up things here and there. So that's how I got this sweater. But most of the time I thrift. I just like thrifting more. I find that I enjoy the things I find more. I enjoy hunting for treasures and putting them together, and I also enjoy the prices more. I just get more for my money. So but this one actually did come from Old Navy, and I absolutely love the red. It is an actual Christmas sweater, and I just got this little necklace at Walmart last year as well, and paired it with it, and it just kept the jeans and the Timberlands, and I feel like this is just a cute look all by itself, and it is a fairly normal look. I feel like colorful but normal. So okay, on this one I took, and this is what I was kind of saying with the just kind of mixing things up a little bit. I took two blues and stuck them together, and they're both the blues that are in the shirt. So I love this. It's a cute little rabbit, and he's wearing a little scarf that says peace, and there is a darker blue and a lighter blue on his scarf. And so I just took this because I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be cold. It's a t-shirt again, so quilted, a little bit heavier jacket. And these pants are St. John's, which I found at a thrift store. It's actually a really expensive brand, I think, but I just thought they were cool. I think they have the little S's and J's on them, but I just thought the design on them was cool. But sad to say, they are way too big. So I keep pulling them up. So they're actually going to go in my sale pile. But they look really cute, I think, paired with the rabbit, but the two blues with it. And I feel like if I sound like I'm stuttering a little bit, so it is late here, and I decided to do a video late, and so I don't know why I feel like I need to be quieter because it's late. I actually don't have to be quieter, but for some reason, like my daughter's in her room and my husband's in there on the couch, so I can do this video, and so I feel like I have to be quiet. So, anyways, it's all good. I need to get out of that. But this outfit I do think is very cute. I'll just have to find a different pair of pants to wear with it since these are a little big. But giving you an example of how to mix some cool looking textured pattern pants with a little t-shirt and a quilted jacket. So okay, on this one is so cute. So I found this shirt thrifting a while back and also was going to sell it. So I went through this crazy bunch of taste changes here lately. So I'm 46, and I have had to go back and, so my dad passed away, and we're not going to get into all of that, but I've had to go back and do some cleaning on properties and different things that I didn't know I'd have to do. And I think because it was so icky and there were so many things wrong, that it just kind of messed up my taste there for a little while. So it took me a couple of months to get out of that. But because I thought I was like, oh, I'm done with vintage. But then it came back full force. I'm like, I'm not done with vintage. What was I thinking? So anyways, I love vintage. I love it. I just needed a moment. And so I had put everything in a sale pile, and then I went and dug it all back out. So this one I had found, I think I went to like, there's this little place that you can dig through some bins. It's not the Goodwill, but it's like a church store. But they have some little bins outside you could dig through in the summertime. And it was by the pound. And so I found this and I think some other stuff. It's just some really good vintage stuff. I had to work for it. There were stuff that I had, like, if you've been to some bins, what it looks like. But anyways, this is so cool. I'm so glad I got it. And it says mistletoe victim, which is really cute. I just took that same necklace back with it. And actually, I just love the teddy bear and the little green pants. And then these pants I showed in the last outfit on the fall and how to match them up for fall, but they just kind of go with everything. So I picked them with this because they have the green, blue, and white stripes, and the sweatshirt's white, and then he's got the little green and white striped pants. So I just like the stripes with it. But anyways, I think this one's super cute. And then I stuck the little sambas with it just to kind of give it like a streetwear look. It feels very streetwear to me. And it's also so different. Like if you find something like this at the thrift store, pick it up because nobody else is going to have it. You're probably going to be the only one. And so it's going to get noticed. And even if it didn't get noticed, I would still wear it anyway because it's just cool, right? Okay. So with this one, I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. I found these jeans. I'm not sure I'm liking how they look like in the front area there, but they're Jordache. They're vintage Jordache. And they are just like, they couldn't be any snugger. I mean, they fit, but they're snug. So I'm not sure if I maybe would wear something longer than them. I don't know. But anyway, they are a cute jean, and I was excited about them being Jordache. So we will see what I do with them next. But for anyways, right now with this outfit, I have paired them up. I left the little Timberland boot on, and to me they just look more wintry, the Timberlands do. And I always have loved this, I call it camel color. I've always loved that color of boot. And instead of worrying about trying to fit these legs of the pants down over the boot, I've just rolled them up once and left them the way they are. And then this green, I found this faux fur green jacket not too long ago for just a couple of bucks at the thrift store. And I was like, yes, because I was so excited because it was a different color. It wasn't at the normal, color you would normally find on a fur coat. So I love it, and I love it with the green or with the yellow. So taking the green and yellow for Christmas and then adding the little Christmas necklace just kind of ties it together and gives it, the actual Christmas look. And then also having the gold zipper. I was a little thrown off at first when I first got this shirt because sometimes I have a problem with modern zippers and buttons. I don't know if you love vintage, I don't know if that's a problem for you, but because vintage buttons and zippers just look different. They're just so much more detailed. They're just prettier. They're just better, basically. But so every now and then the modern zippers throw me off because you can just, honestly, it's cheaper. You can see the cheaper when you look at the modern ones. So that was throwing me off a little bit. But now that I have stuck this with the green and with the necklace, I actually kind of like it. It does look good together. I really love the green and yellow together. And first time I'm trying it on, which is why I didn't know how the pants would work out with it. But definitely keeping these two together. I feel like I probably will wear this, and it is giving it just maybe something you wouldn't have thought of for Christmas. The green would be Christmas, and I honestly do think of yellow a lot for Christmas because if you remember the vintage, like my papa, he had the vintage Christmas lights, and they were the multicolored ones, and they did have that kind of gold color in them. And we actually ended up with some of those from his house not too long ago, and they're just totally different than the new ones. The new lights, the LED lights, they're not the same thing as the ones we used to have, and the other ones were prettier and softer and cozier, and so that yellow color has been standing out to me. I think really because of stuff like that, just seeing that color in a lot of the vintage Christmas ornaments and lights and things is why it's standing out to me, but it makes sense to me in my brain. So, but maybe you wouldn't have thought of that, but it is an idea. So here's another color combo that maybe would work for Christmas. Okay, this is a modern one for you, and I actually really like this. So it's just diamonds everywhere. So these pants, the diamond pants I have gotten at Cato, and I do talk about Cato a lot. Because Cato just has amazing stuff. And you have to get in there because they only put out like 2 mediums, 2 smalls, 2 larges. There's only 2 of everything for some reason. I don't know why they do that. That could be why they don't have enough people shopping there, because they run out right away. They put out new stuff like every week, I think. But I normally get, well, I'm in a small right now from there. I was getting a medium, but I noticed it's like always gone. Like you got to get there when they put it out or it's gone. Because if you have even 10 people that wear a medium, only 2 is getting one. So anyways, you got to get in there and see what they got every week. But I really do love the Cato clothes. I mean, look how cute these are with all the diamonds. And you would think they would be super expensive, but they weren't because they were from Cato. And then I just put the little black ankle boot with it. And this sweater, once again, Ross, I'm telling y'all, Ross in the wintertime. So in the summertime, I didn't really care for Ross because I don't wear a lot of characters. Now that might change, but I don't wear a lot of characters on my clothing. So, and I felt like that's all they had in the summertime, and just it wasn't the same. It's just thinner stuff, and I like the thicker material. But in the winter, they have the cutest sweaters. I'm telling you, hands down, $14.99 for new sweaters, like just the cutest ones. And I've gotten quite a few of them there. And so this one came from there, and it's just completely big bow with diamonds, matches the diamond jeans. And then I found this at Cato as well, which is where I get a lot of my jewelry. They're nickel free. And they're just good statement pieces. And this one, it had the green, but I thought, why not? So the green and red, and just added some more diamonds. There's diamonds up here, just diamonds everywhere. So I feel like that looks really cool together. And it's the first time I'm seeing any of these. And this one I really love. And it is definitely a Christmas, I feel like hands down a Christmas outfit. So we'll be wearing this one. And there's no vintage in this one at all. It's all modern. But it is a lot. So not exactly the minimalist look, is it? But I think this one's super cute. All right, I like how this one turned out as well. Obviously, Christmas sweater, super cute with the little snowmen and everything. Vintage, but taking a modern, just button up blue, bright blue top actually, and some vintage beads. And they're a little bit off color, but that's okay. It's okay if they don't just 100% match. It just gives it more character, it gives it more color. And the little snowmen and trees have all the colors in them, so that is okay. And then I just put it with a pair of black jeans, just kind of keeping it all black and just trying to get away from, a lot of times people have a tendency to just wear a pair of blue jeans with everything. And you can do that. If you like that, you can do that. I just want something that's just a little bit different, so that's why I use all the colors. Blue jeans are great as well. I was going to say something too, and I just lost my train of thought about the blue jeans. But anyways, I paired it with the black ones, and I kept the little sambas with it because it gives it just a little bit of a younger look. So sometimes if you take vintage clothing, especially if you're like my age or older, you want to add things to make it look younger, so it doesn't just look like a grandma wearing clothing. I actually am a grandma. I feel like I'm way too young to be a grandma. Way too young. I'm a Lola because the word grandma sounded too old to me. So my grandkids called me Lola. I haven't found another word for grandkids though yet. But anyways, I just feel way too young. But but anyways, if you will take younger pieces and put with the clothing, vintage clothing, you can still wear it because it does create a little bit younger, youthful look. Most of the time I'm with my daughters, my one daughter, I have 2 daughters, but my one is 21 years old, and I fit in pretty well with her and whoever she's with because usually of the way I dress. And so that's just a little tip for you. Okay, on this one's really cute, and this is an example of something I feel like a lot of times, maybe this one is a little more Christmassy, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times plaids don't really get used for Christmas, or people don't really think of them in a Christmas way, but they always remind me of like Hallmark Christmas and fireplaces and candles. That's what they remind me of. And sometimes like the woods, like the cabin in the woods on the Hallmark videos. That's what these types of tops remind me of. So I always think of Christmas when I see plaid most of the time. I always think of winter and Christmas. So having that in mind when styling this outfit, and this one is a modern one. And I was wrong. That sweater I just showed you with the snowman was actually an Alfred Dunner top. So it is actually a grandma sweater, not vintage. It was a newer one because the tag was newer. It has a vintage look to it, but that was a good definition of like pairing the tennis shoes up with it to give it less of a grandma look. So anyways, onto this one. I love the little sleeves, like the little ruffle sleeve, and it's pleated up here, and it just has all that detail. And I paired it with the black jeans and with the little black ankle boot. Just kind of looks a little more, I feel like, classic, a little more dressy this way, I guess. And I just kept one of those little beaded necklaces, which I don't know if you can you still get these at Belk and stuff? I don't know. I feel like maybe you can still buy the beaded necklaces new, but you can go to the thrift store and always find these for nothing. Like I'm saying a dollar or two. They usually always have them because nobody picks them up for some reason. I don't know why. They go with everything. So I always pick them up because I literally have one in every color for everything. So, and I think it looks great with this one. I love, just having a little something extra. I could have used gold jewelry, which would have looked pretty modern and normal, but this, no one else is probably going to be wearing a black beaded necklace with this top, and it ties in with the pants color really well. So I do really like that look together. Okay, this is a good all vintage one for you. So obviously a vintage sweatshirt. It is so cute. It is from the 90s, I'm pretty for certain. And it's got all the little cute puppy dogs on it. And I just took, because I feel like in the 90s, a lot of times we just took like the basic gold chain as well. There were different eras of the 90s. So just a lot of, I feel like the 90s had so many different styles. There were so many, because there was like the mom look, there was the kids look, there was the teen look. There's just a lot going on. But anyways, I paired it with just a gold chain for that reason, and the little puppy sweatshirt. And then I found a pair of vintage, the light wash jeans. I love the light wash ones. I feel like they just look more vintage. You know, the lighter they get, or if they're acid wash or whatever, they look more vintage. And just I tucked in the sweatshirt because we wore them tucked in a lot. Plus it just gives it a little more shape. So I have been liking pretty much everything tucked in here lately, especially if you're going to do a layer. So if you're going to wear a jacket over it, if you tuck the inside in, it just looks more somehow put together. It looks like you just effortlessly put it together, versus if you just leave it out and everything just looks like it's just kind of hanging there and everything's untucked. It just doesn't have the same look to me. So that's why I tucked it in. And it's very simple though. This is a very simple look, but just tucking it in. And then I just thought I would give this one a full-on vintage look by doing both pieces vintage, and it is very Christmassy, so very cute. Okay, I think this one turned out really cool. This is a 70s take on Christmas. So I had found this thrifting, and it had 3 pieces to it. Somebody had already cut the skirt, and it was too big, and I think my daughter kept that for material or something she wants to make. And then it has another piece under it, which was it is too big, so that's why I've got wrapped over it. The other piece is way too big, so it's actually listed on my eBay. But I kept this part because I knew that it was really cool, and I could just wrap it over with a belt and wear it, and I actually think it's really cute. And then I was searching for some bell bottoms, and I did have some modern like wide leg, but they're like cargo, which didn't make sense. These have more of a, to me, they are modern, but they have more of a 70s look to them, between the print and the little flared leg at the bottom of it. So I took some little ankle boots, which I feel like kind of added to that 70s look, and it's even okay that these 2 prints don't match technically, but look how cool they are all together. So I feel like this is an idea of mixing prints and just playing with your clothes and doing something that's a little different than what everybody else is doing. So this, I feel like most people wouldn't have thought of to do this. So this, I just love things that stand out, that are different. But putting these 2 prints together, I just think is really awesome. And I love the 70s look of it, like the big collars, and I put just a plain black button-up shirt under it and left the collar out as well, and then chose some rock necklace, which I feel like rocks and beads and stuff was always kind of 70s as well. I didn't live in the 70s technically, maybe like a couple years of it, but that was it. That doesn't count because I was a baby. So, but this is my take on 70s, and I think it turned out really cool. And just taking that belt to not only cinch the jacket in, but it does give it just a little bit more details in it. It just, the more accessories you can add to the outfit, the better it gets, the better. Was it Iris Afdale that said, less is a bore, more is more and less is a bore? So I kind of feel that way. More is more, less is a bore. So the more accessories you add to an outfit, the better it's going to get. The more creative it's going to get, the more people are going to be like, whoa, like there's something different going on over there. So unless you don't want that at all, then don't accessorize, because yeah, it could get crazy. But anyways, I really do like the way this one turned out. And I think this one's super cute and very different. You know what? I said I was going to do 2 parts and I forgot. And so I actually need to stop and just stop right here and say, see you on the next one. We're going to do a part 2 to the Christmas because the video is getting really long and I'm going to have to start watching that. So there's so much to think about when you do a video. No one ever tells you this, I guess. People just look so professional, but I'm just a true teller over here, so this is how I feel about it. I like making the outfits. The rest of it is just a lot, but it's okay. We're going to get it. And the more I do, the better and better it's going to get. So I hope you enjoyed the ones we've done so far and just giving you different thoughts on how to put things together, maybe a little differently than what other people are doing, and just thinking a little outside the box, and also showing you what you can get at the thrift store. So the majority of these clothes have come from the thrift store. And I mean, if you want modern, if you want vintage, if you want to put them all together, it doesn't even matter. But there's just so many fun things and cool things to find at the thrift store. So anyways, I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next Christmas one.